Happy Wednesday, Hail Stalkers. Lead meteorologist John Choquette here for our 12 p.m. daily hail forecast. Don't have a whole hell of a lot to look at today, a whole hail of a lot, I guess you could say. We have still just that risk looking forward towards Saturday, and that's really pretty much it. The rest of the today, tomorrow, and Friday look very quiet. But make sure if you want to watch our videos on our app and not on your Facebook page, if you're doing stuff, the app out there canvassing, trying to work some old storms, you can watch the videos by clicking on that lightning bolt in the lower right hand corner. If it's not live, you get to see the most recent recordings, so usually just this forecast for the remainder of the day until the next one. Go ahead and click on if you want the video to be larger, click on the video in the lower right hand corner and go into landscape mode. You can see us in full screen, and make sure you have notifications set up as well. You guys know the drill. Notification options, select the regions for which you'd like to be notified and the methods of which those notifications are sent, whether it's your phone, desktop computer, or email. Make sure you have that set up so that way you don't miss any of our important updates, especially once storms do eventually happen. Moving forward, this is just kind of like an area of concern is what I put in here. So this isn't like what our forecast really is or anything yet. This is just what we're watching for the potential on Saturday. So really we're looking at, places in eastern Oklahoma. I have Tulsa in there. I kind of was debating putting it in that. I think it'll be very east Oklahoma. The most recent model trends is put it a little further south, so like Fort Smith points south pretty much. Eastern Texas possibly down through the Houston area and into Louisiana, most of Arkansas, possibly even Saturday night we might move into portions of Mississippi and Alabama, but I think at that point there might not really be much hail. I think the concern here is what we're looking at, and the computer models continue to be really, really hard, like they're hard pressed to have any agreement. The American model is kind of still on their own, being very aggressive for Saturday, which when it's on your own, it's kind of hard to say, yes, we're going to be aggressive for that as well. I think there will be some storms on Saturday. It's just the quality and the widespreadness of it and how big the hail can get. Right now, this is what we're looking at. So anywhere in here for the remainder of the week, this is what we'll pretty much be focusing in on. We're going to jump over to the computer models now and just kind of look a little deeper into what we're expecting on Saturday and why we've kind of had this area of concern, and more importantly, why we've been a little bit on the conservative side. We haven't really talked too much about it. And the biggest thing is honestly just the way the setup is. Typically you want to have a nice big trough in the west, kind of like how it is. I'm going to jump way far ahead to show you. See, a trough like this is good. This is looking ahead towards St. Patrick's Day. I think that there's still signs that we could see a pretty good event going into the following weekend. But to not confuse you guys and jump into, this is Saturday. We have this weird northwest flow. You have a surface low that really comes down to its location and its strength. It needs to be a fairly strong surface low to kick off some storms, and the strength has really been kind of wavering. The European model and a couple of the higher res American models don't have as strong of a system, but the American model, the GFS, really wants to have a strong system, and that fight is really coming in. They're both kind of staying stubborn in their places, so there's no agreement yet for us to really kind of pinpoint. So that's why we're just kind of highlighting the area of concern here. Anywhere within, let's see, we got there, yeah. Anywhere within eastern Oklahoma, far eastern Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, anywhere in there, I think you can see some decent storms. You can see the moisture will not really be a problem. Does not appear to be, at least at this time. I think we'll have plenty of moisture in place if we move forward here. Get ourselves, yeah, you can see here on Saturday, all this moisture in place. Nice, pretty high dew points for the time of year. And this particular model run, yeah, see, we don't really get north of like Fort Smith on that one. And then it pushes forward, and you can see this thing, it's also moving very fast. And when it moves very fast like this, the chances of storms turning into a line increases significantly. So that's why once you get past about the Mississippi River, I think things are going to just be a line of storms moving through, not really much hail involved in that. See if anybody has any questions in here. What's up, Trent? Just people saying, what's up? Okay, keep moving on here. And that's really all we're expecting on Saturday. I wish I had more info for you guys, but I don't entirely want to get super into this right now, just because there is so much uncertainty and only one of the computer models is really kind of going at it. I think there will be storms on Saturday. That I'm pretty confident of. It's just the quality of the storms, how many they're going to be, how much hail are we actually going to see. Those are the huge questions we have right now, and even for a few days out, the uncertainty is still very high, which as of right now kind of puts me in the position of thinking this is going to be less of a big event than a big event. When you have this level of uncertainty this far out, the amount of times it works out to being a good big time severe weather event are much lower than when they just are kind of mediocre and we can see a couple storms. Having said that, it only takes one storm to hit a population center for it to be a good event. So I think anything is possible here. We could see a storm in Fort Smith. We could see this system slow down and the Dallas area decides to try to tease us again. You know, anything is still possible here this many days out. The computer models do a much better job of getting a handle on things once the storm system gets on shore. It becomes part of the lower 48, and that's not going to happen until Friday. So honestly, probably tomorrow's forecast will be a little vague as well. The more high-resolution American model has started to sample this storm a little bit. So I think tomorrow I'll have a better idea of what to expect on Saturday, and then Friday I think we'll have like a real forecast ready for you guys, and we'll have a video again on Saturday. I may not be doing the video Saturday morning depending on how things pan out. I have other engagement to do around noon on Saturday, so that's what happens with the weather. I try to plan things to avoid storms, and then they happen anyway. So, but we will have updates for you, of course, every single day, all the way leading up to this event. And for those of you who are wondering, looking ahead even further, the signs are still pointing to the potential for some storms going into the St. Patrick's Day weekend. I think that's a more significant threat. That's been very consistent on the models across the board for the past month or so. So I've just been kind of watching this come up, and I think we may actually see something out of that one, and that's going to be the start of a more active pattern in the second half of March. What our hail forecast for the year has said, second half of March and then leading into spring, much further, we could see a lot more activity. It's just that anticipation leading up to, and that starting to get a little antsy here of just wanting to have some storms happen. So let's see. All right. So other than that, I think that's all I got for you guys today. I'm going to just kind of go through some final stuff here, but I think for the most part, again, area of concern, those of you guys just joining, this is what we're watching. Tune in tomorrow and we'll have more details on the potential for some storms on Saturday, and also on Friday even more as well. Make sure you follow our posts here on Facebook. I know most of you guys watch on Facebook, and I'm sure most of you have followed us and selected to see the posts first. But just a friendly reminder, if you haven't, please do that and share this video as well, and share our page. Get our views out there for more people to see our forecast every single day. We wouldn't be able to keep doing this if it wasn't for you guys. So I think that's all I have for you guys today. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. So have a great rest of your day, guys.
feel now.